haven't got one because they won't speak to you.
Oh, I'm in Essex.
Yeah, well, it's because they've got the boys.
Yeah, but
because they've got the grandchildren. We don't mention the grandchildren. Yeah, when I'm phoning up, when I do speak to my parents, my mum, because my father passed away, when I speak to my mum, I never mention the boys that stay with my sister.
Have you got a gambling order?
No, it's for our own, it's so that they can't write nasty things about us, because they said if we complain again, then they're going to look at removing the boys from my sister, because my sister's a nurse and my brother's a magistrate, right? But they're now slowly coming round to our way of thinking, because of the way that social services are starting back on them. They're saying that the boys are not allowed bunk beds. I lived in bunk, when we lived in there's 4 children in our family, and me and my brother shared a room, bunk beds, and so did my 2 sisters, bunk beds. But they're saying bunk beds are not good for children. What are they going to do, mate? Go around every shop, social services.
Yeah,
and what they're going to do, go around every shop, say,
but then you've got to work out, most of these social workers are coming from all these other countries, and like at my conference last year in London, there was a social worker, and she'd written a book for all the foster carers, because if a foster lady was caring for a little girl from Africa or somewhere, she didn't know how to do her hair, or there's all these problems for children from other countries, sort of thing. So this book was specially written for them. So yes, there's a lot to be said to help them.
When they found out that they didn't have the judge that they normally have, oh no, what are we going to do? Oh no, I don't believe this. What are we going to have? Suddenly, the judge became available. They're running around like blue-ass flies, excuse my French. But that's exactly what. Oh, we got. You're joking. No, it's the same judge that's come up every time. The people that we speak to down in the area that we're in, it's the same judge, the same team leader, and all we just said is they get a bonus for every child that they get adopted. And and there was a thing last night, and that can't pay, won't pay. Do you know when the babies go round? Yeah. Well, they went round the social worker's house, and she's left her kids on her own, and she had £3,000 to something, and they can take the stuff out of her house. I rolled up, I thought it was so funny. But yeah,
there's a hell of a lot of corruption being claimed.
Because we dare complain, we was written about as a difficult, and the good work with us, and the courts back that up. I think you have to work with these people. How can you work with people who lie about you and falsely accuse you, which is what they've done in every single statement? My daughter was accused in court by the barrister of making a concession with my husband's death. And nobody, not even the judge, questioned her about that, or can you confirm or deny this? She was never asked to. It was just accepted my daughter made a concession that the little boy was harmed in our care. And that's the investigation. We have been going round in circles and circles to the Director of Children's Services. He's now stopped writing to us. We've gone to the LGO, and they've come, we can't investigate because of maladministration. Do you know what defines maladministration? Bias, unfairness, inaccuracy in statements. All these things that have happened to us, and they're saying they can't investigate. What is going on?
Well, I've been told that they put a gagging order on me, and they said, you speak out, Maggie, and you'll go to prison for 7 years. Not only am I an alcoholic drug addict, supposedly, I'm everything else. And also, when they found out who I really was, when they had my life investigated to make sure I was being Maggie Tuckle, at the taxpayer's expense. I have gone through absolute hell as a grandparent, but it's only via the helpline. What I've gone through is nothing compared to what all other grandparents are going through. It's hell, it really is.
It's horrible when you see your daughter being belittled in court over something that she hasn't done. And you have a right to stand up for your daughter to prove what they were saying was wrong.
Well, they threw me out of court.
We nearly got thrown in prison for speaking to a friend about it because we didn't know we were representing ourselves. Now, when the boys came back, and my daughter was put in a mother-baby foster placement in Brighton, and she went down the 8th floor. The social worker put in a statement, Danielle got pregnant in Brighton. She gave birth 2 months later. So it must have been the quickest conception, baby grew like that. Right, and they're reading it to court, right? And then they came back and we signed a working order, and they broke the working order at the beginning. So when they're supposed to come around every day for the first month, including weekends, and then it went down to twice during the week, once on the weekend. And what it did was, no one came around the first weekend, so we thought, we'll work with them. anything you do or say if you perceive you broke the working agreement from the start. But for the fact that I had to contact the out of our team, they would never know how them boys work. Don't do it. Don't do it again. What did I do?
Yeah,
You're
but
a
social workers can't even speak correct English.
Well, they even
So,
use
if they can't speak it, how are they going to write it down?
They even get agency things now, right? You get agency people watching your contact centres, so that's another waste of money.
If people are committing perjury, fraud in their statement, you're not going to the National Crime Agency. Because these people you know, you need to get to...
I was told of children being trafficked by a private airline from Kent. So I contacted the border control a few years ago to say, well, there's a private airport doing whatever, the kids go missing, whatever. Nothing happened. Nothing whatsoever. Where is your evidence? I said, you're the police officers. You check it out. They don't want to do anything.
They didn't in our case. They wouldn't investigate because social services falsely accused them. Police don't want to know. We don't want to know about the actual person who's done it, who's got a mental health problem, who's on drugs, and seems to have violence. We didn't want to know about him.
Well, we didn't know about that when it came out.
Yeah, but a lot of judges have shares in the adoption and fostering agencies. No, it's true. I mean, as I said, the Children's Food Challenge, we research continually every single day, and everything we have goes onto the website. I've got something coming out tomorrow because social services, and it's been happening over a period of time, social services are becoming private. It's like the prison system became private. Everything's coming private.
Ours is a Polish girl, right? And I'm not racist or anything like that. And she started having a go at me. So I turned and said, do you have children? And she went, no. I said, well, don't lecture me and tell me how to bring up a child when you've never brought up one yourself.
That's right. Well, I had a run-in with a Romanian social worker, and she had problems herself when growing up with her mum and dad.
Yeah. But we're behind all these guys.
And yet they come and take care of the children.
Yeah.
What I'm picking up from this is there's a thread about follow the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a multi-billion-pound industry, I think so.
Yeah, privatisation of all the aspects of our national life, that's all part of global capitalism. Obviously, if budgets are tight, and it's cheaper to have children adopted, that's what they'll be doing. They'll be told to do it. I don't know about children, but I was involved in a case with an adult who was assessed as not having capacity to say he wanted to stay home. He was put in a care home. We got a solicitor. We got him out, but a psychiatrist had to be paid several £1,000s to assess him. It had to be a psychiatrist who was not working for that council, and then he assessed that he did have capacity. The council settled out of court rather than have it come out into the open what they'd done. But it was saving money. It was cheaper in a care home than having care workers come round the clock to somebody at home. So, you know, the thing is follow the money.
Bernardo's used to sell our children for £15. And nobody knows this really. Bernardo got £15 per kid by selling them to Australia and Canada and that. You probably know this then. Whereas it used to cost £12 a year to feed a child. You know these kids from the workhouses and that. £12 a year to feed them. But he got £15 per kid by selling them to Australia and Canada and that.
Can I just the lady over there said about perjury?
Yeah.
About perjury. Why can't we? They are courts. They're British courts. Why can't we get people on perjury?
I run the police. Sorry, I run the police, and I said about being fraud and everything like that, perjury. They said, who are you on about? I said, social services. They said, well, we can't get involved.
Well, I'm going to do a private prosecution against social services on perjury. That's what I'm going for. Do it that way.
People are winning their cases.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I'm telling by the helpline. Yeah. All families check out your social workers, bring charges of perjury or fraudulently taking away your children. But don't speak to the social workers. They're the dustmen.
Yeah.
You go to the top. If you've got any issues, you go to the top, not the social workers.
I'm going back to the judge who saw this case, and we're waiting for him to reply.
Yeah.
Because the last time we went to court, in December the 22nd last year, in one court case, the social worker told 22 lies on 8 pages.
But have you got the evidence?
Yes, 100%.
Oh, good.
I've got it here today.
Because I say to everybody, all families, you've got to go through all your bundles, your paperwork, and get all your evidence.
I've got it 100%.
No, I'm not saying I'm talking about all families.
Yeah.
Because if we start to bring on mass charges, or even if we could get a class action, that would be fantastic.
But if one of us just won, a good case.
I know, but you've got to remember a lot of the legal teams and a lot of them judges are all part of core assets and...
But the evidence I got is so clear and cut.
Well, let's hope the media will be behind you, because unless you've got the media supporting you, who's going to know? And this is why I said earlier to Rachel that the media keep getting D notices slapped on them.
Well,
so they can't report anything.
They can't take nothing off of me, so I'm not worried about going through.
I know, but what I'm saying, darling, is if you're going to do what you're going to do, then fantastic. But you need it in the media so that all the families can follow your steps, you see.
Is it Christopher Booker?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's really good.
Just ignored me. Yeah, he fights
And what I'd like to ask you know you said you're going to take a private prosecution. Are you taking an individual, a named individual, or are you going to sue social services or such and such an area?
At the moment, just one individual.
Good, because I think that's the way to go. Get the individual person and not the agency. Because trying to sue an agency...
No, I'm after one person.
Good,
Yeah.
good. I just
She's only a very young social worker who they put up front.
Yeah.
And she's only 22.
And you've got proof that she lied and got it wrong.
Yeah, 100%. 22 things I've got. And I know I can win.
So, is there any protection for the social? There's a new act was brought out regarding police. They can't hide behind their uniform. They can now be tried as an individual, as a man or a woman. And they're liable for imprisonment if they're found guilty of doing wrong. Does the same thing apply to social workers?
I don't know. That's what I don't know. What I understand is that a British court is a British court, so if it's a family court or not, and you cannot tell a lie. A lie is a lie. If it's in a family court, perjury is that.
Yeah.
Can I just say that the social workers are governed or regulated by the General Social Care Council. Now they're regulated by the Health Care Council. But they are Congo, they're ineffective. You're very lucky to get redress from any of them.
Yeah, but this is what's happening. They're not answering back. But I'm just going to keep at it. They've lied. I can prove they lied. So I'm taking a private prosecution against this one social worker.
Can you get legal aid for that?
No, but I'll come back in myself.
Is that just put a lot of people off the money?
No, but we can do it ourselves. You don't need just a private prosecution. Ain't going to take a lot.
But wouldn't it be better to have all the families who know for 100% fact that all social workers have lied and colluded and they have the evidence? So why can't they all get together and do a class action together? It's more powerful to do it this way than to do it individually. And then when there's funds, maybe you'll get supporters to fund all the families.
I do agree with that. How long is it going to take for us to get together and do that?
And also,
the children are getting older all the time. We've had
or maybe after here and listening to everybody else speak about what's been going on and how serious things really are, that people will take notice and start understanding what families are going through and what mothers, grandparents, fathers, having their children removed by force by these lying people, and so it will make a real strong point of having this class action. I think is the best way forward for anybody.
But how many people will it take?
I would do that.
limit per tree on
I'll be at that too.
But say like your
I
social
can't really
worker,
afford
you'd
it.
need to find out other families that she's
No, I just agree that I'd be
and maybe
for a
lies
class.
about.
Well, no, not really. If I could just,
A group
if I could just find one, oh sorry.
Carry on.
If we could just get one social worker 100% live,
Yes.
that's a start, isn't it?
Brilliant, yeah.
You know,
That's the way.
yeah.
Not just maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know quite a few so far, not just from myself, but
Yeah.
listening to other parents and grandparents, and they're all going through the same process of having maybe several social workers just on the first case within a few months. So what they do come into the family life, they make a report, they make up a few lies, and then they go, and another one comes in and does the same process. So it's a never-ending process of trying to cover up each other's tracks. And then when a mother hears this, and then you hear it from another grandparent saying that they've gone through this similar process, and somebody else has gone through this process as well, then it shows a bigger picture of what's really kind of going on and how these people do collude, and not just the social workers, but their management. And then it goes to a higher source. So, like you were saying before, the independent reviewing officers, they're not independent at all. So once you've got them held to account and you've found the lies and what they've done, they even move on as well, and they bring in a new officer in charge. So, you know, you go into officer level, but there's even higher, like we know about the secret family courts, and so there's judges, there's lords, there's masters, all involved in controlling everyone's behaviour here, you know, and this is what it's all about, controlling the whole family life from cradle to grave, pretty much, and that's how serious the situation is.
You're saying now about it, the family courts, our daughter's solicitor turned around and said to us, as he's walking towards us, you ain't going to change in his lifetime.
You fell into
You fell into their trap.
And regarding laws, I'm about to write to you all about it.
So, with regard to the family court, our daughter's solicitor said that we fell into that trap and it's not going to change in his lifetime.
And also, I'm about to write to a lord. There's quite a few under the family section, social services. Because of this tax credit thing, I'm writing to one lord and photocopying it to the rest of them about all these cases and that these people are lying. And they should be brought to justice. They have to be.
But then there's two sides of the laws, you know, you've probably got laws that are on the good side for the people and the families, and then there's laws that like to control people and their behaviour, so they want to keep you suppressed down.
We googled it and there's a list come up about social services. They all want to throw this out. They all want to expose them. There's quite a lot of laws that.
I mean, this Judge Mumford, apparently he came down to Portsmouth and we missed him. But I'd love to have met him to see what he actually, what he actually is going to try and do.
It's just another muppet as far as I'm concerned.
Can I just let Debbie say something to you? She's part of this whole setup as well.
Hello, I'm Deborah Mamudio. I've written this report, which is a Child Safety UK project, and it basically covers everything that everybody's been talking about today. But I just wanted to say in relation to the privatising all the childcare services, social services, and this is by Ray Jones, Professor of Social Work at Kingston University, St Anthony George's University of London. And he said, in England, what is intended by the government is even more extreme. Not only is it planned that these companies should be able to get the contract, it is also intended that they will not be registered, regulated or inspected when providing these services. Now, it says nowhere else takes the considerable risk of these services only being accountable to the government or local authorities through a contract. And one thing I would like to mention here, a lot of people don't know, but your councils are secret. They are absolutely committed to keeping secrets about any private corporation that's providing public services. They are legally not allowed to disclose anything that might give negative publicity to the provider, to the service provider, or if they might have committed a crime. they are not allowed to disclose it. They will be jailed. And also the council's allowed to meet in secret now too. And if anybody discloses anything that's said in those meetings, they will be prosecuted. So with that, bearing that in mind, relation to these privatised childcare services who are not going to be regulated, and the council aren't even allowed to talk about it. So, you know, it's really serious, it's really, really serious, and I think the country's got to wake up seriously. Anyway, I'll pass it on.
It's very important, well, I think so anyway, you might agree with me. What I try to get families to do throughout the whole country in the Kent is for you to do like a little conference and bring in all the other families who have lost their children. So you have a little conference and you could have like, I don't know, 20, 30 people arrive who have also lost their kids to foster and adoption. And by doing that you can collect all your evidence as well of all these social workers, their lives and everything else. You might be able to bring a class action individually around the country. But it's very important, as apart from going into loan, as you guys are as well, if you can get lots of families from your area to come in and give you their information as well, then you might have a stronger case.
And in relation to that, I suggest going to see your, what's the council official that's in charge of a ward?
Councillor.
Councillor, right, that's right.
I want to know, I've been...
Oh, good. But if they have, say, 10 people coming to them with the same issue from the same immediate neighbourhood, then that's quite a powerful, you know, message to pass to them.
Yeah, it's all written down by all the same families.
Melissa, I went with Abigail and we went to the Citizens Advice Bureau at the Royal Court of Justice, and there was a couple of people, wasn't there, with me, and we were mentioning to the gentleman in there, and he was saying it's very powerful if you have just a few of you together and you want to have a class action. He said it's a really powerful message and one of importance as well.
Getting the people together though, because everyone
Yeah.
on Facebook and say
I think it's quite easy to do that. I mean, I've got 20 and 30 so far, but I'm sure we can do a lot more. I think it's better to have the more powerful as well.
And what number do you think would make a difference to Parliament? 200, 300?
It's quite a lot, but you have to put them into different categories.
Yeah.
There's false adoption, there's false fostering, and then there's families who've had the children fostered and adopted. So, you know, there's 3 different areas that's trying to get the families of all the children who've been fostered, you know, together as a class action, and all the parents who've had the children forcibly adopted as a class action. I think maybe that's the best way forward as well.
John Hemmings tried to put through a family law bill, family justice bill a few years ago, and all the MPs that said they were going to turn up, there was no MPs there. And then the Ministry of Justice stopped it going through. It was live on Parliament, so I'm not going to say halfway through it was a bit boring, but, you know, none of the MPs, there's various, you know, different constituents from round where I live, because I'm Havering, my children, not their real name, Neil's boy's name, she's Essex, Buckerstill, they said they were going to be there, no one showed up.
Oh, coming from Essex, did you read earlier on this year where 2 social workers have been, one has been working for 15 years on a false passport and a false name as a social worker in Thurrock Social Services. I think the other social worker was legally working in Thurrock as well. I contacted both Thurrock MPs, Jackie Doyle Price coming as one, and there's another guy. I've been sending them emails and letters for the last 6 months to say that all those children that were taken into care by illegal social workers, those children should be returned until we've had a public inquiry? Yeah, a public thing. Yeah, I'm getting tired, sorry. But nothing's happening. 2 MPs, they're as booky as they come. And how many kids are in care and shouldn't be there? Nothing else.
What about judicial review cases, reviewing all these cases where social workers have lied in these cases? Why can't we
go anywhere because there's a certain Lord I'd like to. Don't go anywhere.
Just think around and round in circles, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. We are just the plebs. They're the lords and whatever, we're the plebs.
I'm going to call
We've got to do as we're told.
a 10-minute tea break, okay, because I'm going to invite you.
Oh, we're getting excited here.
Well,
aren't
no, we can round it all up in parts. Just 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, at most.
I'll move down a bit.
So